In this video, we got another episode of the series where I rate and improve your guys' teams. You guys will send me your team on Twitter at x7tanaka, and I'll give you guys my best suggestions to help improve your squad, and then I'll also give you guys a rating out of 10. Could be a 6, a 7, an 8, a 9, or a 10, whatever I do think about your squad. But if you guys also want to let me know your guys' team on the YouTube comment section, let me know down below in the comments your squad and how much MT you guys are rocking with right now, and I'll give you guys my best suggestion to help improve your squad. But looking at the first team here of the video, comes in from Alex. He's got about 550,000 MT and overall has a very good squad. I mean, he's got Ben Simmons, he's got Kristaps, Jonathan Isaac, Tim Thomas, Pippen. Like, I would say your starting lineup is probably safe to say is like you can, stick with your starting lineup. Your bench you could upgrade a little bit in my opinion. With 550,000 MT, I would probably get rid of Mark Eden and Alex English. Those are some better cards that you can look to pick up. But first thing I do have to do is obviously rate the squad. I would say his team's probably a solid 9, maybe 9.5 out of 10. I think I'll stick with like a 9.5 or like a 9, somewhere in that middle range, maybe like a 9.2 out of 10. For me personally, I don't like using a guy like Mark Eden. I like to have my centers being able to shoot, and you can honestly get a guy, you can move Dino to the 5 and then get like a Jokic or get like a Dirk for the backup power forward spot. That's probably what I would do if it was my team. Like if I wanted to give my best suggestions, I would probably put Dino to the backup 5 and then get a guy like Jokic or Dirk for the backup 4. And then for your backup shooting guard spot, I would just personally get Vince Carter, and then I would maybe look to switch him over Scottie Pippen just so you have a little bit more offense off the on the starting lineup and you have a little bit more defense off the bench. Because if you go with Vince Carter in your backcourt, Russ and Vince, yes, they're going to be really good offensively, same thing with Rudy Gay, but you're not going to have too much defense. So if you start Vince Carter, you're going to get Scottie Pippen off the bench, and he's going to be a really good shooting guard next to Rudy Gay and Russell Westbrook. So for me personally, I would get Vince Carter and get Jokic, put Jokic at the 4, Dino to the 5, and then I would get Vince Carter, start him over Scottie Pippen, and then do have Pippen off the bench. But overall is a very well-rounded squad. Looking at the next team here, coming in from Cardi, he's also got about 500,000 MT to work with, and he's plans on getting Ben Simmons. So we got a lot of all-star cards in this squad. I'm not sure if D-Rob's actually coming off the bench, but I would definitely be starting him at the center position. Off the bench though, at the backup center spot, I would look to get Dino Raja. I think he can be a great backup big man. There is a lot of upgrades to this squad. I would say the rating out of 10 before the upgrades is probably like a 8 out of 10, maybe 8.5. I mean, it's definitely a solid squad, but yeah, I would say 8.5 is probably a fair rating. For me personally, your 2 centers should be D-Rob and then Dino Raja. Your power forward should be Giannis. A backup power forward, once again, I would probably go with a guy like Jokic. I think him and Dino are really good in that backcourt. And then for your small forwards, I would probably have it be Jonathan Isaac starting over Paul George. I would sell Paul George and then look to get a backup small forward, either between guys like Rudy Gay, guys like Michael Porter Jr. I think both of those guys are going to be way better than a Tatum and a Paul George. Your 2 small forwards would be Jonathan Isaac and, let's say for example, Rudy Gay. Your 2 shooting guards, I would probably keep Pippen at the starting 2, a really good shooting guard. Off the bench, so I would look to get Vince Carter, a really good offensive card that's going to be able to carry your offense. And then for your point guards, if you want to get Ben Simmons and Magic, you probably can get those 2 guys as well, and that's probably what I'd recommend doing. Or maybe look for like a James Harden if you want a little bit more of an offensive point guard. So your point guards could be Ben Simmons and Harden. Your 2 shooting guards can be Pippen and Vince. Your 2 small forwards can be Jonathan Isaac and Rudy Gay. Your 2 power forwards can be Giannis and Jokic, and then your 2 centers can be D-Rob and Dino. If you make those upgrades and make the squad that I just said, obviously you can tweak it to whatever way you like, and obviously keep the cards you want to keep on your starting lineup and your bench. But for me personally, if you made that exact squad, I would say that's easily like a 9, probably most like, no, it's like a 9.5 out of 10 if you were to get Ben Simmons as well. But all around, still a pretty decent team. I would just make those couple upgrades there. Next squad though, coming in from Mamba, he has 550,000 or 540,000 MT. It's kind of a little bit funny. Everyone has around the same amount of MT, price range to work with. He's got that dynamic duo between Billy Knight and Mike Bantam, so my man's got that RNG luck. But yeah, definitely be starting these cards. They are so nice together at the shooting guard and the small forward position. I think the rating out of 10, I would say, is probably like a solid 9, probably 9.5 out of 10. Another really good squad. He also says he's got Tyler Hero, but he prefers Russell. Only upgrade for Russ would be Ben or Magic, but so expensive. I mean, that does make sense. I would say the only upgrade you could really make is like a LaMelo, a Magic, or a Ben over a guy like Russell Westbrook, and Oscar is really good as well. So for me, I would say his team's probably like a 9, maybe 9.5 out of 10. I think what you could do is honestly move Jonathan Isaac to the backup 3 and then move Scottie Pippen to the backup 2. That's what I would do personally, and then I would look to get a better power forward, which once again, I like Jokic. If you have Yi, you can just put Yi at the 4 there if you don't want to spend too much MT. Yi's a really good option. If you like him at the 4, or Dirk or Jokic, those guys could be really good at the backup 4. And then for your backup 5, 5, what I would try to do is if you want to spend a lot of MT to get one upgrade, I would look to get Dark Matter D-Rob. Now, I'm not sure if you want to spend all of your MT or you want to keep some of it, but if you're looking to make that one upgrade, I do think getting Dark Matter D-Rob to start and then Dino off the bench, I think would be a lot better for your squad. But if you're not looking to make that massive upgrade, and then I think you really don't have to really do any upgrades, except for maybe look to get a guy like a Magic, a guy like a Ben Simmons, if you wanted to keep your bench the same way. Because if you get a Ben or a Magic, you want to have that offensive card in Ray Allen. So if you just want to make one upgrade, I would either go D-Rob and then slide everyone down a spot and look to get like a Jokic or something like that, or just put Yi at the back at 4 if you're going to spend all of your MT on a D-Rob. But if you're just looking to get one player and that costs a little bit less MT, then I'd probably look to get a Ben Simmons or a Magic Johnson. But all around, a really good squad, especially with that dynamic duo. But looking at the next team here coming in from Griff, he's also going to have Mike Bantam as well. What is with everyone having Mike Bantam? Like, I played so many games to try to get that card, and I literally cannot get him. And almost everybody we've looked at has the Mike Bantam card. But yeah, he's got a pretty good starting lineup. Obviously does have Yao Ming, so probably got the most glitchy and the best card in the game. Bench is pretty solid as well. Not too much defense off the bench, so we'll have to definitely improve it there. But all around, I think the squad's looking pretty good. I would say another kind of 8.59 out of 10 team. I mean, you got Yao Ming, so your squad's got to be at least a 9, but I would say all around probably like a 9.1, 9.2 if I were to be really specific with the rating out of 10. For your upgrades though, once again, like I said, you really need to have some more defense off the bench, and I think Jonathan Isaac at the power forward spot is a really good upgrade for compared to a guy like Anthony Davis, and he's only going to cost you about 70,000 MT, somewhere in that price range, and he can be a really good power forward, especially next to Dino. That's going to give you that height, that defense that you need off the bench. I mean, Anthony Davis is a solid defender, but he's a liability on the offensive end with that jump shot. Really not a good offensive card, and he plays solid defense, but nothing too crazy. So I'd look to get Jonathan Isaac at that backup power forward spot. And if you want to keep everyone else the same, I mean, I like your squad. You could probably upgrade your starting power forward to a guy like a Jokic or a guy like Yi if you have him, or Dirk. I think those three guys are all better than Bob Nedelecki, especially Jokic would be a really good power forward to have on the starting lineup just to give you a little bit more offense. But all around, I think your only upgrade you need to make, like that I would you definitely need to make, is just upgrading Anthony Davis. I mean, if you want to go for a typical power forward, you could go for a Jokic or a Dirk or one of those guys, but I think you need more defense off the bench. So I'd go for Jonathan Isaac and play him at that backup 4 over Anthony Davis. But looking at the next squad here coming in from Rawfish, he says upgrades are so expensive, and he's got 2 million MT and already a really good squad. So he's got a lot of MT to work with. He's got Yao Ming off the bench. He's not even playing Magic Johnson or Rudy Gay, so he's got a lot of MT to work with. I would say his squad is probably like a 9.5, maybe like 9.2, 9.3. He's also got the dynamic duo, and he's got 11,000 tokens. Have you even spent any tokens this entire year? How do you have 11,500 tokens? That is absolutely ridiculous. But for this squad, I mean, yeah, easily a 9.5 out of 10. I think your really only upgrade is probably the Oluwa Candy and maybe James Harden if you wanted to. Like a LaMelo Ball, I think is a lot better than Harden, and he'd be a great backup point guard to run next to a Scottie Pippen and a Jonathan Isaac, because those guys are really good defensive card also with KG. And if you were to get LaMelo Ball, that'd be the perfect point guard to get off the bench. If you wanted to get a better center as well, I think a Kristaps or a D-Rob, I'd probably go for a D-Rob if you're trying to save a little bit more MT, because I know he costs a little bit less. I think he could be a really good starting center if you wanted to run Yao Ming off the bench. But all around, a really good squad. Don't think you really need too many suggestions except for like a LaMelo Ball and a David Robinson. But looking at the next team here coming in from Alessandro, I think that's how you pronounce his name. His Harden has 30 Hall of Fame badges, and he has 200,000 MT to work with. Looking at the squad for the rating, I would say probably 8.5. I mean, Sean Kemp at center and Kareem, I think you really need to upgrade your center position. Other than that though, your squad's looking pretty good. Another dynamic duo. How many people have Billy Knight and Mike Bantam? I can't even get one of the cards, and we've seen so many people have the actual duo as well. So for me personally, I would upgrade your center position, and with 200,000 MT, I think you could move Dino to that 5 spot. That's probably what I'd recommend doing, and then getting Pink Diamond D-Rob for your backup 5. So I'd start Dino at the 5 next to Jonathan Isaac. I think that's a really good front court, and then have Pink Diamond D-Rob off the bench. And then once again, you know, a Jokic is available. If you have Yi, Dirk, Bob Nedelecki, those cards are really good not budget fours, but just really good for their price tag. I would go start Dino at the 5, and then get Pink Diamond D-Rob and Jokic as my backup backcourt. But all around, a really good squad, especially with that dynamic duo of Billy Knight and Mike Bantam. And then guys, looking at the last squad here of the video, coming in from Corey, he's got 350,000 MT on current gen, unsure if he needs a better backup center or not. I mean, you could definitely upgrade your center. Once again, I like running Dino at the 5 a lot more than I do the power forward, but for this squad, I would say it's probably like another 8.5 out of 10, a very solid all-around squad. I would look to maybe upgrade, you know, like a Mikal Bridges, for example. You already have Vince Carter, but if you can get yourself a Scottie Pippen, I think he'd be really good to play off the bench, or you could start him over Vince Carter. And then for your backup point guard spot, if you wanted to go with Pippen, then I would probably go for James Harden, and that could be a really good backcourt duo to run off your bench. If you wanted to spend the MT, the 350k, I would get Scottie Pippen for the backup too. He's just a better Mikal Bridges. He's taller, plays better defense, has a better jump shot. I mean, he does pretty much everything better than Mikal. And then for your backup point guard position, I would look to get the Galaxy with James Harden, who will be a really good offensive card next to Scottie Pippen. And then other than that, like I said, I'd probably move Dino to the 5, keep Pink Diamond D-Rob or Olo Candy at the backup 5, whoever you do prefer. And then at the backup 4, once again, go get a guy like Jokic, go get a Dirk. If you have Galaxy Yi, those cards can play as well. But all around, guys, all around, this squad is going to be looking really, really nice. I would just make those couple of upgrades, especially to your backup backcourt. But guys, let me know in the comment section down below, like I said at the start of the video, your guys' team. Let me know in the comment section down below, and also make sure you guys let me know how much MT you guys are working with so I can give you guys my best suggestions. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.